Well, good evening. Welcome to the Morning Report. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Well, I told you we'd be back with this. There was a 4 p.m. deadline for former President Trump to pay $454 million bond in his court case in New York. But shortly, right around lunchtime, uh, the appeals court broke that number down, the 554, that's what it was, to $175 million, and gave Trump a 10-day extension within, to pay the 175. Now the problem still is that he's got to pay $175 million before another judge can hear this case. Pretty high interest. I mean, it's pretty high entrance fee to have to, appeal your case, and the state always has a burden of proof. But in order to get to that level, it's going to cost Trump $175 million. Again, I said this before, and I said this morning when I was talking to you. If they can do this to somebody as rich and powerful as former President Trump, used to be the president of the United States, how they treat us. How can they treat us? So, but in a statement from Letitia James on Monday afternoon, she declared Donald Trump is still facing accountability, as they call it, for his staggering fraud. The idea now, a lot of people still don't know what this case is about. Apparently, the state of New York thinks that Donald Trump inflated his net worth to unjustly enrich himself, his family, and his organization. Now, somehow, the $464 million judgment plus interest is the fine for doing such. Now, they didn't find any victims because the banks that Trump dealt with, which he made them tons of money, said no, we didn't find anything fraudulent in in any of our dealings with Trump. You sort of start telling you something when the people that they say that they're defending, that New York State is defending, say no, we didn't find anything fraudulent with Trump. We didn't find anything different than we find with a lot of people. Everybody's trying, if they're dealing with banks, everybody's with loans, everybody tries to put their very best foot forward, right? So you're going to trade that car in, right? And you may not think that car is mint, but you say it's in great shape, right? Yeah, maybe, it needs a water pump. Maybe maybe the AC doesn't blow as cold as it needs to. Maybe there's some fan belt noise, but you're saying it's in great shape. That's fraud, technically, I guess. But they drive your car and they say, we'll give you, $4,000 for it. That worked for them. That worked for you. They drove the car. You're good to go. Nobody is injured. No one is injured. And they couldn't find an injured party. That's why the 175, actually the anything, is problematical. But this is actually going to add to the drama of all of this. So now we have a new deadline. We'll see how that works out. President Trump had a news conference where he suggested, well, that he was going to throw everybody he could under the Trump bus, right? This is classic Donald Trump, lashing out at New York Judge Arthur Engoron and Attorney General Letitia James. Former President Donald Trump praised the appeals court for the reduction of his bond from $454 million to $175 million in an impromptu press conference on Monday at his 40 Wall Street property. He said this: It's a sad day in our country in many respects, but the good day is that the appellate division was fair. Trump told reporters in an unscripted 21-minute news conference where he took open questions from the media without notes or prompting. Hmm. Who can't do that? Who almost isn't allowed to do that? Maybe the current president. No notes, no teleprompters, nobody in his ear. You know, he says this. It's still a lot of it's a lot of money still, but the judge is corrupt. He says this. In my opinion, um, he's the most overturned judge. He's been overturned 5 times in this case alone. He ruled against me before he even knew anything about the case. He ruled against me. The whole case was about damages, and there were no damages. This is true. Trump also claimed that there were settlement negotiations between his team and the judge in the case that further exposed what Trump felt was a hyperpartisan nature of Engon's massive $454 million ruling amid the 2024 presidential election cycle. Perhaps you'll get him to tell you about what took place in terms of settlement negotiations, because those weren't the numbers he was discussing. Trump continued. Those weren't the numbers. Trump was appearing in New York City court Monday for District Attorney Alvin Bragg's indictment for what Trump calls a misdemeanor of business records at best. But Democrats and the anti-Trump media call the Stormy Daniels hush money case from 2016 election interference allegations. Trump says this is a disgrace what's happening in our country, and we have to get our country back, and we're going to get our country back. That's what Trump is for. If there's one. Trump said using his social media, media's time to get his campaign messaging out amid the legal wrangling in New York City, a place he used to call home before politics attacks from Democrat justice system operatives, many of which are elected and like James campaigned on the vow to sue Trump. We talked about that this morning. Get Trump. Everything else is fine. Everything else is baked in the cake. All the corruption, all the stuff people knew, but they don't care. Oh, we did a video on that this morning. Um, that's what that's what's going to happen. November 5th, I believe, will be the most important day in the history of our country. We will get these people out of there, and we'll seal up our borders, and we'll, as I say, drill baby drill. We will be drilling. We get energy costs down. We get rid of that ridiculous electric car mandate. No one ever heard of anything so foolish and so stupid, and bring back law and order. Of course, elect me, and I will wave my magic wand, and everything will be instantly okay. Uh, that's where Trump is, right? But 10 days from now, so what's today? Today is 25th. So we're like April 5th or so, April 6th or so. We'll see if even before then, Trump comes in with a bond. Hopefully, sooner than later. Hopefully, further away or closer to now than the deadline. A lot less drama, but Trump kind of likes drama. So we'll see. All right. Boy, did we catch up? And we did. So we got to get out of here and, I don't know, take a nap. We see you again. Go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, don't take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye now.